a legend has been reborn. More than 2 decades after the original Honda NSX brought unprecedented acclaim to the Japanese manufacturer, meet the 21st century version. It's here, it's wacky, and it's completely laden with tech. But can it live up to the reputation? Let's find out. The original NSX was a game changer for Honda. It was solely responsible for putting the Japanese brand in the same lights as Ferrari and Lamborghini. But that was back in the 90s, so it's been a long wait for the follow-up version.
But it takes barely 3 seconds to realise this is a genuine supercar. Check this out. Oh! Feel it, throw you back in your seat. Now this latest NSX is a huge car for Honda. It isn't just a pinnacle for performance, it's also a torchbearer in terms of the brand's hybrid and electric technology. So it's got some huge expectations riding on it.
Answering the challenge is a 3.5 litre twin-turbo V6 combined with 3 electric motors, 2 at the front and 1 at the rear. The end product is a clever all-wheel drive system producing overall outputs of 427 kilowatts and 646 newton meters. Drivers channeled to a 9-speed dual-clutch automatic via sticky Continental rubber.
You get instantaneous pickup from the electric drivetrain, and then the 3.5 litre twin-turbo V6 takes up all the slack, and I'll tell you what, it is properly quick. Honda hasn't actually supplied a 0 to 100 time. They say they don't need to, but I'll tell you what, I reckon it's comfortably inside that 3-second mark. Now, Honda benchmarked some of the best supercars in the world for the NSX. Cars like the Audi R8, the Porsche 911, the Ferrari 458 were all purchased by Honda to try and get this car as sharp as they could, and it shows. Through corners it sits really flat. The steering, it's not quite as organic as something like the Porsche 911, but it's really sharp and intuitive and helps instill confidence, especially through some of these faster turns. For me, the most impressive feature of the NSX is that despite weighing over 1,700 kilograms, it sits really flat and poised through corners.
The NSX isn't just fast. Thanks to its clever and intuitive all-wheel drive system, it is incredibly easy to drive at speed. There are also different driving modes to play with. In quiet mode, the car is airy and unfussed, with an ability to drive on pure electricity for up to 2 kilometres. In track mode, the engine, transmission, steering and suspension wick up to a level of performance that is right at the pointy end of the segment.
Now, I'm not going to bother mucking around in those modes. I'm just going to spend today purely in track mode. You can probably hear that really blaring soundtrack. It's quite loud inside the cabin. There's definitely an artificial feel and sound to the engine, but boy does it go.
Pulling the entire package together is an excellent 9-speed automatic which, truth be told, does a better job than using the paddles for yourself. The Gearbox features a short first gear for launching, a tall 9th gear for highway driving, and 7 closely stacked ratios in between.
Now I know what you're thinking, right? 4-wheel drive supercar, can't be that much fun. Well, here to tell you, it is. The Honda feels really stable at speed. I mean, it's got a top speed of over 300 kilometers an hour, and it just feels stuck to the ground. It's all that aero, all that technology. It's true, this isn't just a performance flagship for Honda, it showcases everything that this brand is about. Finally, there's something to be excited about, and this car does excite on every level.
To really fulfill its status as a genuine supercar, the NSX really needs a sense of occasion and theatre about it to at least vindicate the $420,000 price tag. Truth be told, cheap switchgear, including tacky plastic gear paddles, does undermine the car's positioning. But hey, you can't always have it all.
If I was to make one criticism, it's probably the soundtrack. It does lack that raw emotion that you'd expect from a $400,000 supercar. But in every other sense, it is clinical and it disarms a racetrack like few other cars on earth.
There's no doubting that this latest NSX is a huge revolution on the first generation model. Will it be remembered in the same way? Well, only time will tell, but first impression is that it definitely lives up to the hype.